Number 2, compute each of the following derivatives. We want to know what dy of t dt is. It's the same as saying y prime. We want to take the derivative. To take the derivative of this function, we really need the power rule. This is the power rule. We use this often. We also are going to use this. This just basically says if you have a constant in front of a function, you can take the derivative would be the constant times the derivative of the function. The derivative of a constant is 0. I talked about all this in our video. When you have things added or subtracted, this should really say plus or minus. You can separate them into two separate derivatives and then put them back together. That's not true for the product rule. A function times a function. And this is chain rule. We will not be going over this in this class. We have y prime, and we're going to have to use this right here because we have a constant times a function. So I have 3 times the derivative of t to the 7th, which is 7t to the 6th because of the power rule. I'm going to subtract. That's what this one right here is. I can add or subtract. Then I have t to the 4th using the power rule. That's 4t to the 3rd power. Pi is a constant. The derivative of a constant is 0. I get y prime is equal to 21t to the 6th power minus 4t to the 3rd. And that is my final answer. Now we want to find the derivative of f of 0 with respect to t. Again, we want to take the derivative of these functions. I have a constant times the derivative of the function. I look over at my cosine. It's negative times whatever that omega is next to the t. I pull out front. It's negative sine of omega t. So we have negative 3 sine of 3t. And that's the derivative of just the first part of the function, plus the sign is the same. We take that 5 in front. The derivative of the sine is the cosine of 5t. If I simplify it, I get minus 12 sine of 3t. But t here is 0. Plus 5 cosine of 5 times 0. Now I have minus 12 times the sine of 0. What's the sine of 0? The sine of 0 is 0. This is just going to go away. I have plus 5 times the cosine of 0. The cosine of 0 is 1. My answer is 5. C, the derivative of this function x of t with respect to t. Now this one you have to be very careful about because this is the product of two separate functions, t squared and e to the t. What I usually do is I put a line down my paper and I have to use my product rule. The product rule says f g. If I want to take the derivative of that, that equals f times the derivative of g plus g times the derivative of f. I think this is a little easier to see. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say f is equal to t squared. F prime is equal to 2t. G is equal to e to the t. G prime is also equal to e to the t. Now, if I want to take the derivative of f times g, which is what I have here, it's equal to f t squared times the derivative of g, e to the t, plus g, which is e to the t, times f prime. F prime is 2t. This equals e to the t times t squared plus 2t. I can simplify this further by factoring out a t. I have t e to the t times t plus 2. And that is my final answer. Last problem. Find the derivative of this x of t when my t is 4. First thing I want to do, though, is I want to turn the square root of t to the third power into t to the 3/2 power. Now I can just use my power rule. This is equal to 3/2 times t to the 1/2 power, which is the same as 3/2 times the square root of t. Now it's asking us when t equals 4. When t equals 4, we have 3/2 times the square root of 4, which is equal to 3/2 times 2, which is equal to 3. And that is my final answer.